In today's world, many guys are doubting their manhood. They believe they are less capable and self-assured than more manly males. There's no need to be embarrassed if you're feeling this way. There is a significant distinction between being male and being a man. Being a man is something you are born with. You have to work hard to become a guy. The good news is that there are a number of masculine triggers that, when practiced on a daily basis, will help you feel more manly and confident, regardless of who you are, how you look, or where you come from. Number 1. Set a goal for yourself. The whetstone is the sharpening stone for the manly edge's blade. In truth, difficulty is the driving factor behind humanity's progress. From erecting big skyscrapers and founding massive tech businesses to waging wars in an attempt to conquer other countries, we are always pushed ahead by difficulty. Another little-known truth is that the majority of our forefathers and mothers were women. That indicates that the vast majority of males throughout history were unable to breed. What did men do back then when they intuitively realized this? They improved themselves so that their genes would have a higher chance of being passed down. They got more tenacious, rougher, mentally more alert. They were the ones who rose to the occasion and created a strong sense of internal control. As a result, they were the ones that were able to get married and have a family. Overpopulation would have wiped out the human species long ago if every guy who ever lived reproduced. Fortunately, survival of the fittest is a built-in precaution in nature. Species that do not adapt and grow are extinct. Number 2. Develop self-sufficiency. Men were traditionally the principal breadwinners in traditional communities. It was unusual to rely on too much outside help to support the family. This is definitely no longer the case, yet self-reliance is ingrained in the male mind. To feel good about ourselves, modern culture trains us to rely on external stimuli. For example, we frequently seek approval from likes on social media. If you want to be more manly, you must learn how to gain internal approval and validation. Sure, seek outside assistance, but don't expect it to save you. Self-sufficiency is not the same as being self-reliant. There is no such thing as an island. Unless you completely off the grid, you aren't truly self-sufficient. Self-reliance simply means that you rely on yourself to get the job done. Accept advice and criticism from others, but always do your own thinking. Develop your knowledge and skills in a field where you can help others. Number 3. Participate in a rite of passage. There is a clear transition from boyhood to manhood in many cultures. A test or physical initiation is used to represent it. In ancient Sparta, for example, young boys were thrown into the woods to fend for themselves. They were baptized as men if they returned. We don't have a test like this in mainstream Western civilization. As you may expect, this causes a slew of social issues. Many men nowadays are locked in a state of suspended adolescence and have no idea how to mature into men. You might be thinking to yourself, well, I'm no longer a teenager. I suppose it's too late now. Not at all. A rite of passage can occur at any point in one's life. It's never too late to grow up and become a man. Typically, rites of passage require a clear demarcation point, such as before, I was a boy, I am now a man. As an example, taking a solo travel around the world to meet people from different cultures. You're relocating to a location that is vastly different from where you grew up. Being able to perform a difficult-to-learn talent that requires time and effort to master. Number 4. Bump up against masculine beliefs. A hormone called testosterone is found in abundance in all men. As a result, we have a proclivity for two things, fighting and fucking. Unfortunately, the former is regarded as wholly negative, while the latter's aim has become distorted in today's culture. Both of these aren't necessarily terrible. It all depends on the circumstances. Fighting isn't bad in this scenario. It's one of the ways that men keep each other sharp. Remember that fighting is both physical and mental. Boys in the schoolyard viciously brawl and struggle with each other because they have a natural need to fight to resolve disputes. In the wild, male rams, bears, and other animals frequently battle each other for mates or to resolve disagreements. Am I encouraging you to be a jerk and fight random strangers in the bar? No, fighting solely for the sake of fighting is completely unacceptable. Unfortunately, too many men lack the emotional and social intelligence to understand that fighting should only be used as a last resort. However, you should continue to nurture your natural urge for intense competitiveness. Some instances are as follows. Surround yourself with men who will psychologically push you. Practicing a martial art that allows you to spar is a good idea. Learn how to effectively debate your point of view. Being masculine entails taking control of your life and accepting that you are no longer a child. You must resist the urge to feel sorry for yourself and instead focus your efforts on making the best of the situation. You must understand that it is never too late to make a positive change in your life.